Greetings, enthusiasts of spine-chilling tales. As you can see, I'm currently at the hospital where I serve as the head nurse. Tonight's tale revolves around a particularly creepy evil patient I encountered called Eddie. Prepare yourself for a venture into the shadowy depths. Let's descend into horror, if you dare. Episode 5. Night Shift Nightmare. It was a seemingly ordinary day at St. Mary's Hospital where I worked. As an emergency nurse, my role entailed dealing with a variety of issues: broken bones, drug overdoses, and myriad other medical emergencies. However, nothing prepared me for the sinister events that unfolded with Eddie's arrival. A middle-aged man with an unsettling gaze who had passed out on a street corner. I couldn't shake the eerie feeling his presence generated. As night fell and I continued my regular rounds, I couldn't help but be drawn to Eddie's room. Despite my better judgment, I found myself outside his door, my hand reaching for the handle. As the door creaked open, I was greeted with a thick metallic odor, sending unease crawling down my spine. The room was eerily quiet, and I could sense that something was amiss. Hesitantly, I turned on the light, only to find the room doused in blood. Panic seizing me, I scanned the room for any sign of the patient. My eyes fell upon Eddie, hunched in the corner of the room, his hands soaked in crimson. He looked up at me with that dead stare into my soul, and I suddenly realized the truth. Eddie was a serial killer who had remained dormant until now. Before I could react, he lunged at me, his bloodied hands gripping my arms with a strength that sent shivers down my spine. Terrified, I did the only thing I could think of. I screamed. The sound echoed down the desolate hallway, and I prayed that help would arrive. As Eddie's cold fingers tightened around my arms, I struggled to break free from his grasp. Just as I started to lose hope, the door burst open, and a team of security guards rushed in. One guard tackled Eddie to the ground while the others quickly moved to restrain him. Eddie thrashed and snarled like a rabid animal, but the guards managed to subdue him. I watched with a mix of terror and relief as they dragged him out of the room. The nightmare seemed to be over, but the horror had just begun. In the aftermath of Eddie's rampage, we discovered that he had brutally murdered several patients throughout the night. The blood that coated his hands belonged not only to himself, but to his innocent victims as well. A sense of despair settled over the hospital as we all struggled to understand how such a tragedy could have happened right under our noses. Later that week, a police report was released, revealing Eddie's gruesome past. It turned out that he was a notorious serial killer who had evaded capture for years. Known for targeting vulnerable people in hospitals, he had changed his appearance and identity multiple times to avoid suspicion. He had carefully planned his arrival at St. Mary's Hospital, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike again. Though justice had finally caught up with him, it was too late for the people he killed that night. The hospital grieved for the lives lost, and it would be a long time before any semblance of normalcy returned to its halls. As I continued my work at St. Mary, I now understood that evil walked amongst us, hiding in the shadows and waiting for the perfect moment to strike.